Okay.
Got it.
Let me just double check. I'm recording to the cloud. Okay. Okay, welcome to the final 2023 fiscal year 2023 special committee on racial equity meeting. It's myself and Julie Reyes who are
Hello.
leading this meeting. Good evening. Thank you for being here, Julie.
Thanks
So
for hosting it.
we had a couple of board members who had an emergency come up, so they weren't able to join us. But we did want to talk through a few key pieces as we're finalizing the latest version of the interim SCREE report, the Special Committee on Racial Equity report that we submit to the full board every June each fiscal year that we've been instated. There's a couple of things that we have to touch base on. One, I heard from the borough president's office that the next iteration of demographic data for board members will be available in July. So I've updated the report to reflect the data that we have thus far, which is basically, I believe, December of 2021. We have updated the executive summary. I've added in a piece on, and Julie, thank you for all of your time on that executive summary. I will also, or I have included a brief update on the mayor's office of equity, I believe it's called, Mo. It now houses the Racial Justice Commission and a host of other city agencies looking at equity within New York City, trying to look more closely at the true cost of living here, sort of reflective of the ballot initiatives that the city voted on in November 22. So that will be updated as well as a part of the city charter portion. And we will also update the mapping section for budget requests for fiscal year 24. 25 is already under discussion, but until it's finalized, we won't include them into the report.
Okay.
I think that covers sort of the updates on the report.
Mhm.
The other sort of elephant in the room is that I have mentioned to board members that we're looking for additional SCREE members. And we do have one SCREE member rolling off, I guess, effective immediately. And I did want to send a message out to the board prior to exec to have people consider it, and for us to perhaps reduce the number of meetings. I guess part of my inclination is that I wanted to get us moving. And so we probably had more meetings than we otherwise would have.
Yeah.
But I feel like we made good use of our time, but it is a lot of time, especially because it doesn't count towards um, standing committee
Mhm.
service or general board meetings. So I wanted your thoughts on what might be the approach. One, do you think we should do that? Two, what do you think is the right approach? And then three, we're asking for SCREE to be continued again into the next fiscal year. And if we are short on members, how might we want to proceed
Yeah.
in continuing the work?
Okay. Did we mention that in the report that we recommend that they continue it? I don't remember. I don't remember seeing that. Okay, as long as that's in the report. Well, remember initially I was against meeting every month, but and I did come, and I have to say, in the long run, it was best that we did meet in the beginning because you were able to set out a template for the committee. So moving forward, they at least have some guidance of where to go. So moving forward, I think maybe if they met once every other month, then the month that they don't meet, they can work on whatever reports or research that's done, because a lot of work was done initially. So, and I was reluctant, you know, me in the beginning, I said, we don't need to meet every month, but in hindsight, I'm glad that you did push us to meet every month, because at least there's a template and a guideline for the people moving forward. And if it's a small committee, I think we can pull some of the community, because I remember in the beginning, we had quite a few people from the community come. I think if we reached out to them, especially like the institutions in the area, within the board, because they have an input on what goes on in the community. Maybe if we reached out to the people who initially came, because in the beginning there were quite a few, and maybe it was too many meetings for them, I don't know. But if people know that it won't be as many meetings, and they can pop in, maybe we'll be able to get a few there. And if it's not a large committee, I mean, even a committee of 3 is fine, as long as it's an odd number, so that you have some kind of back and forth, so that everyone doesn't think and vote the same. So you have different schools of thought. You know, sometimes small committees work out better than a whole bunch of talking heads. So we do need people.
Yes. And I did get one request from an individual, a community member. And so they asked about participating on SCREE as a community member. So I got this guidance from the office. One is that they have to attend 3 consecutive meetings,
Right.
written request submitted to the chair, recommendation of the chair and approval of the board chair at an appointment, and then committee chair reviews attendance and reappointment. So I'll send that to the individual who asked, and hopefully they will, you know, depending on how we proceed, but hopefully they'll come on board in September.
That's great.
Well, I guess we have to consider 3 months and then, but they seem to be an active person in the community.
But in the beginning, if they met September and October, at least just to get at least 2 meetings in right away, especially before the winter. So at least that's 2 meetings under their belt. And then by December, that they would have met the 3 consecutive meetings, and then be able to remain the rest of the year, rest of the term rather, as a committee member. So maybe a meeting September, October, and then anywhere from there. That's great.
Yeah.
That resident inquired, because we need the community.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then in terms of recruiting additional board members, if we pledge to only have, you know, I guess 5 meetings throughout the year or 6 meetings, something like that, where it's reduced
We could
or less.
We could recommend that in the report, and hopefully the next group will listen. You know, I think they would though. Yeah, I think they would. I think that would be good.
Okay. And I spoke with Chair Spalter this week, and we are planning on moving a resolution forward at the June general board meeting to continue SCREE again. So the hope is that we have folks who are able to continue to move it forward.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. I can't think of anything else that we need to cover.
So you'll hand in the report to the executive office. So that's good. Now we'll present it to the board. And our minutes. We have to approve May's minutes.
Oh yes, the minutes from May.
Yes.
It's not that long ago, but it feels like it was. Yes. Should we make? I will make a motion that we vote and approve the minutes for May 2023.
I second. Even though I
Okay,
just attended at one of those board trainings and they said we don't have to second certain things, but they're used to it,
okay.
but they'll second it.
All right, so the minutes pass unanimously unless you have an
Yes,
objection.
it'll pass.
Okay, awesome. Anything else you can think of, Julie, that you wanted to cover?
I just want to say that you've done a tremendous job and thank you. Thank you. You know, for many years, various members have talked about putting a committee like this together. And I would say when you and Sergio took good charge on it and you guys persisted, and I want to thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And you've been the backbone here, so thanks for keeping us moving forward. And and I always appreciate your support. And actually, every year at this time when we're looking at that report and sort of reflecting on the year and reflecting on the work that all committees have done and that SCREE have done just to raise awareness or bring some sunshine to an issue that is a problem in the community or needs help or needs resources or whatever. It really sort of um, drives home why we're spending all these nights together. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
With
great.
all the other committees that you're a part of, I appreciate you, Julie. And I'm very excited for the nominating portion of the board committee.
The next chapter. That will be
Yes, the
interesting.
next chapter. Mhm. Good,
Okay.
good. All right. Well, thank you. And I
Thank
hope you
you.
have a good night.
Thank you, you too. You stay well.
All right. You
Okay.
too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.